All right, welcome in, folks, to the Can't We Kick It podcast. I'm your co-host, Mike, along with Chuck here.
What's up, brother?
Long time no see, man. We have not podcasted in, I don't even know how long it's been. 2 or 3 months. Jesus.
It's probably been 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, it's August maybe.
Yeah,
We're mid-October.
it's been a nice sabbatical. There's been a lot of stuff going on. You've been on the road. I don't know how you've been gone that long. It's amazing.
Yeah, we were a couple travels in August, but then pretty much the entire month of September, from September 2nd through October 1st, was only home 2 days.
Yeah.
So traversed the entire US. Was in California, Arizona, Texas for 2 days, Connecticut, upstate New York, Manhattan, New Jersey, and North Carolina. So, yeah, it's been quite a whirlwind. Seeing some concerts, doing some surfing, working, seeing friends, family.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a good time. And then being back in October. Went to Baton Rouge last week for work, so
Yeah.
I was home for a week and then back on the road for a week. I was supposed to go to Baton Rouge this week and Arizona the next, but both were canceled. So it's kind of nice,
Jeez.
but
It's a wanderer.
it's
Chuck's a
all good.
wanderer now. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the California lifestyle and time zone, but
Yeah, you get to knock off a little bit early. Yeah, I do like that.
yeah, it's nice when you're working out there from 5 a.m. to 2.
Yeah.
Is then you get to go surfing and so got to surf Trestles, which is a really cool place to surf, like in Orange County. The weekend before we were there, they had the WSL surfing event at the like same ways we were surfing, which was cool.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so uh, I
You
could
guys
move
saw a
out
ton of
there in a
concerts
minute.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Post Malone a couple times. Um, we saw like some local band in Wilmington, North Carolina. We were out there. That was pretty good. At a brewery. And then since we are back, we saw the Ava Brothers last week in Houston, which we've seen like 5 or 6 times. Blanca's probably seen them more. Yeah. And then, so check out the music scene. I've been kind of expanding my horizons on music. I wanted to see a band last weekend when the Ava Brothers were here. There was a band called
Yeah.
Crumb. They're fucking awesome. Like, I don't know. I kept getting ads for White Oak Music Hall and they were there. So I just started listening to them like an Apple Music and like that's all I've been playing in my car like the last like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, man, I wish I went to their concert. But they're like some indie band and they were like some magazines like 2019 indie band of the year. And I'm like,
Damn.
I was like, 'cause I was doing a lot of research on them. I'm like, oh, these guys are good.
Yeah.
Um, but it's kind of mellowy, trippy indie rock. So it's
Yeah, I pulled it up
quite
on
like,
iTunes myself, and it was pretty good. Yeah,
yeah,
it'd be
there's
interesting
a
to see in
couple
person.
songs. Yeah. But yeah, what have you guys been up to?
I was working. Jackie's opening a new restaurant. I just been working at work and trying to keep up. I got a concert myself on Wednesday, seeing Electric Light Orchestra, and super pumped
Oh,
about that.
nice.
So yeah,
Nice. ELO, baby.
yeah. So me and my dad are going to see that. Looking, but not a whole lot going on around here, man. You've had the highlight for the last couple weeks. So other than that, I've been taking in football, man. Alabama beating Georgia, and then Alabama shit the bed against Vanderbilt, which was hilarious to some degree.
And then
My parents
Alabama
don't listen
beating
to the
South
podcast, so I can
Carolina.
laugh about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've been checking out really on TV. I mean, I caught up a lot on some stuff on travels
Yeah,
that we'll talk about too on TV. But yeah, a lot of college football, some baseball, some footy. Um, Premier League seasons
yeah.
kicked off and
It's
we're
hot
well
sports season
into
right now.
Yeah, it's a good time. MLB playoffs, college football, college basketball is going to start soon.
Yep,
Um, yeah, so good times all around football,
definitely.
NFL, English football. You know, it's it's on the TV. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's entertaining. It's on the TV, and I like to watch it. So yeah, Rangers are back in action
oh,
now.
hockey, yeah. Hockey is
Hockey, baby.
a
Yeah.
weekend, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So,
They're playing. They're playing tonight. So yeah, there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of TV. I've been trying to catch up while you've been out and while we've been taking the sabbatical because I mean, there's so much stuff that I haven't watched, and there's a bunch of small watches, right? That I've been watching that I don't think you've been
yeah.
watching. Um, I've been Only Murders in the Building is back, and I've got some qualms about that season, but it's too meta for me. The new season of the reboot Frasier is back, which is pretty funny. It's just
Yeah.
nostalgic. And then I've been watching YOU on Netflix with I can't remember the guy's name. I think Penn Bagley. I can't remember. But he's like a stalker, murderer guy who like dates these girls and then like consumes their
Yeah.
life. It's a really good show. It's crazy, but it's really
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. And just haven't got around to watching it. It's on Netflix, right?
yeah, it's on Netflix and there's 4 seasons. I think they just announced the final season should be coming out probably next year. But yeah, it's something that I skipped over in the past, but am picking back up on it now. But
Yeah.
what you got any small watches you're on?
I really haven't been watching too much besides like, I was on a lot of planes, so I watched Interstellar. It's back on United, by the way, so
Classic.
I put that on a bunch.
It is
Um,
time for a rewatch. Yeah.
a- and and United has some golf instructional videos on their flight as well, so I was watching a few of those, and then some Family Guy episodes and stuff. They're like I haven't watched the last few seasons of Simpsons and Family Guy and stuff, but I've watched the first couple Simpsons from this season, and then there's a new show. It's called like Universal Income Boys or something like that. That's
Huh.
also an animation domination, like with Bob's Burgers and Family Guy. And it's like about these like guys in Philly that get like universal income or something. And we were at Saratoga Springs, New York, and one episode came on Sunday night or in the hotel, and it was hilarious. Like I
Oh
haven't seen
shit.
it since, but it's like part of the Fox Sunday animation domination. Like it was funny. It was just
I'll have
like
to give that a watch.
Philly. It's like Family Guy is very regional to like the Northeast, like
Yeah.
Boston, New England area, and then this whatever I think it's called Universal Income Boys. It's like Philadelphia, and it's like it's it's good. I don't
It's
know
an
who the creator.
animated version of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's what I would kind of that's kind of what I was thinking. Um, but
Yeah, I'll have to give that a check
yeah,
because I do like those adult
oh,
animated comedies.
Universal Basic Guys.
Universal Basic
So
guys.
it's a centers on two brothers, Mark and Hank Hoagies, who lose their job to automation and are given $3,000 a month and a new basic income program. Um, so yeah, and on Roddy T's, it's like 20%.
It's
Well,
probably
and
what Family Guy was when it first came out, so it's probably pretty good.
yeah, it's like Family Guy. Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like Hank Hill, and then
Oh yeah,
what was that show called?
King of the Hill. Yeah,
King of the Hill. Um, but it's kind of like along some of the same line. It's in that vein.
nice.
But yeah, I think that a couple of the animated shows, and then I don't really think watch too much anything else, but like the stuff we're gonna talk about
Yeah,
here. So, um, yeah, and I've kind of played catch up finishing shows. I feel like there are some shows that I finished during our podcast hiatus that we're probably not even remembering.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I've
maybe
just
maybe like
some
House
that.
of the Dragon and The Bear. I'm not sure we even like finished
I
talking
don't know
about
if we
those,
closed
but
out House of the Dragon. I think it was a nice hot course of nothing.
yeah, I don't think we need
Um,
to close that out.
yeah,
Close itself out.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, we've got
but
some main courses, right? Some shows with some meat on them going on right now, and I think they're for me kind of surprising. I'm going to start with industry, to be honest with you.
yeah, let's talk about that
Um,
first because
yeah, that show you've been bragging about that show for the last 3 years. I don't know. It's post COVID, but
yeah,
um, that show's wild. Uh, it's Succession type TV show. I mean, the writing is amazing. I just finished the second season. Yeah,
yeah,
Jackie and I just finished it. We're catching up late. I know the third season just like wrapped up, but that show was so great with like the woman that plays Harper, and then Eric Tao. Just the cast is unbelievable. I mean, it's literally like you almost took some of the writers from Succession and plugged it into like a UK like bank TV show. It's so good. I want to get your take on the third season, but I love it. I
yeah.
can't get enough of it.
No, I think like I said, I just finished the third season last week or a couple weeks ago. Um, and the first season came out in 2020 and it was really good. But it was a good, it was almost like a young career drama, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's basically follows a group of like new hires that, and it's very true, so the two guys that wrote it came from investment banking. Um, and Blanca came from that world, and it was very similar when she worked in investment banking in London. Similar kind of thing, how they got hired and all these interviews, like similar thing of working like 18, 20 hours and sleeping under desks um
work
and
hard,
then
play hard.
basically, yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any toots magoots like, from there, but like it's a very intense environment, and it follows like more along the lines of the younger people in the first season. One of the young hires, dies, and then
That's like the first
like
episode. Yeah,
yeah, so it's really like and then but the writing, I argue that it's almost better than Succession because I mean, I think the show for me is better than Succession, at least through three seasons. What was Succession, four, five, um,
yeah,
total?
five. I think. Yeah, four.
So
I think.
I don't know where four and five are going to go because I don't want to. We're not going to spoil anything of season
Yeah, yeah,
three yet because you got to watch it. But it gets better each season, and like
yeah,
I mean, I think two was better than one, and I think three is better than two. But I think they're all three seasons are super high level TV,
yeah.
and I think the writing is just so brilliant. I think people may not understand that world,
No,
which most of us don't,
I
but
don't
we
understand half the shit
understand
they're talking about. Yeah,
intense drama and
yeah.
like
Workplace
what the stakes
dynamics.
are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um and like kind of the conniving and the backstabbing and um but it's a great show, and it's very like I think, because another show we're going to talk about too is a British TV show. An industry first releases in the US, you know, before it comes out in the UK, and but it's also got a lot of UK actors and
oh yeah,
UK writers. I mean, and it's filmed in the UK, but it's like main releases on HBO in the US. Um, but I think this year for us, it's been a theme of British shows and Japanese shows,
yeah.
and I think they're like the clear winners
Yeah,
as we go through the years of TV.
definitely. Yeah, industry. I love Succession because it's like
Yeah,
upper class drama, like shit I can
yeah,
never relate to.
yeah,
But industry, I mean, I'm into my career. I like to think I'm like early in my career, but like I started working like 15 years ago, and I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I can remember pulling like 18-hour days and just selling your
yeah,
soul to the company, man, right? Um, and then just
yeah.
seeing people
And
fall
I,
out of like belief of that, like Gus does, like
yeah, and I've been working 24 years now. So like,
yeah,
you get into this, and you're like you know, in the third season, especially, you see Eric and then Bill, who's like the
yeah,
American that's like head of the thing. They're lifers in that company, and they're trying to cope with, kind of the ending of their career, which they
yeah,
spent, both of them, their whole careers is at Pierpoint, the company and the show. So it's very relevant in the emotions of, you know, the career trajectories, and dealing with dynamics of people at work, and then different diverse backgrounds, because you got, people, Yasmin, born into money, never had to worry, and Harper and Robert, who've had to hustle like their whole life, everything, and they'll never be in the same class. And there's a season three, is there's when you finish that, you'll see that even more. um but season three's got Kit Harrington, um and
he's
he
so
just
good.
does a fantastic job. And to hear him in like his British, like he does this whiny British royal like family voice, and it's what, who, like, like I can't even do it. It's like, it's just great. Such a good
So
show.
good. I do have to mention, Jay Duplass plays a hedge fund guy in it, right? And
Yeah,
he's amazing. Like he's only in what, season two. I love he steals the scene every time he's in it for me. I can't, anytime he walks
yeah,
in the room, that's the guy I'm looking at because he's about to pop off. He's so eccentric,
yeah,
but with his white fucking neo
yeah.
skunk shit going on, it's so funny. But
No,
um,
he's great, because he also, what's really great about each of the seasons is like, season two was like post return to
yeah,
work from
COVID,
COVID, and
yeah,
Harper's like the only one not back, and she's working from a hotel, and then, but like, it reflects the actual things of the times, and where like Jay Duplass's character was, you know, in on GameStop. I mentioned
yeah,
that, and like in the meme stock, making money off of shorting meme stocks and stuff like that, or and making, like, he was kind of the anti hedge fund, right? So,
yeah, yeah,
um, and in season three, I won't give anything away, but like, the focus has become ESGs, which is environmentally sustainable. um so like how investors are more environmentally conscious, and like,
yeah.
looking at that. So, but then it's the I won't spoil anything, but it's funny how they deal with that. And so
That's
that's a
fucking
big crux
great.
in the season. So it's all relevant, and they keep it in the very here and now.
Yeah,
Even though I think season two and three, there's like a little time jump of like a year or two, but you know,
I wouldn't be
um,
surprised. Yeah,
but yeah, it's very relevant to, it's set in like our current landscape.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
highly
yeah,
recommend to anybody.
yeah, definitely. And I like how it's
Definitely.
not based in New York, and they basically are like New
Yeah.
York is like fucking dead because there's no new money in
Yeah.
New York. Like that's it's not the stock
Yeah.
trading like capital of the world anymore. And I love that because it's all like I've known growing up, and it's not the case anymore.
Yeah. We're so American centric in our country that, I think people don't understand that we operate in a global economy and a global ecosystem. And
Yep.
there's, you know, like, you can't just be nationalistic in regards to business and the economy because that's not how the world works. But
Yeah. No.
it's we tend to be very America is the universe over here when
Yep.
it's a small speck in the entire ecosystem. But
Yep.
and that's what's good about you know these shows, and then um, just remind you that there's other stuff
Yeah.
outside of where we're at. So
Yeah. There's a lot more going on. Yeah.
yeah.
But that's anything else on industry?
No, I think I can't wait till you finish season 3, and we'll do a recap. We'll do a complete
Definitely.
we'll do a complete recap of that show
Yeah.
because it's fucking bonkers, and season
Yeah.
3 is insane. Um, it really ratchets it up a notch, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you finish it. So
Yeah. Can't wait.
yeah, no, but I think we should segue into the next British show that just wrapped up, right? So
That's what I'm
we
thinking.
just
Let's stick to the islands, right? And let's go
yeah.
Slough House.
Yeah, let's go over to Slough House and then to the Park.
Yeah.
Um, season 4 of Slow Horses.
Yep. Four. Yep.
Probably the weakest season of them all, but still great.
Yeah. I'd agree.
I'll never stop watching it. Jackson Lamb, Gary Oldman's character, brilliant. Um, and it looks like from the coming on next season that Jackson Lamb may finally get some due.
Yep.
I think there's talking about he's the best agent we have, or so. I think Taverna,
Yeah.
Kristen Scott's character, Kristen Scott
Get
Thomas
more
is like,
experience than the entire building combined. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, this season focused on like kind of what they call cold bodies.
Yep.
Like I guess like
Fake
ex
identities used by
yeah,
spies. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and it kind of starts with a bombing at a shopping center in London. Um, and Jonathan Price was a heavy focus this season as
Yeah.
David Cartwright, who's losing his mind, or like, um,
Yeah. Dementia. Yeah.
Alzheimer's and
Alzheimer's.
dementia.
Yeah.
Um,
Which great actor, by the way. Yeah.
he's amazing. I wish I had discovered him earlier because I mean Game of
Oh yeah.
Thrones and Slow Horses.
Yep.
Um, but I think that's what makes this show so good is the acting,
Yeah.
especially from. I mean, yeah, with even Jack Loudon is good, but like Kristen Scott Thomas, Gary Oldman, Jonathan Price, the rest of the actors can be like mediocre because
Yeah.
they just get elevated.
Yeah.
And but I think I think it was a good season. I think um, there was a interesting side plot or kind of how it developed of finding out that River Cartwright's father was the I forget his name in the show, the like
Yeah.
basically American mercenary who
Yeah.
was breeding his own breeding his own children of assassins in
Mercenaries.
France.
Yeah.
Les Miserables or Les I forget the name of
Yeah. What did
the
it was like?
compound in France.
I almost said Le Bears, but that's a casino.
It was Le Berge in Lake Charles. Lake Charles,
Yeah.
France.
It was a good season in that like it you think it all has to do with like a terrorist attack, but in reality, it's along the lines of like homegrown mercenaries, but
Yeah.
nothing as the mercenaries intended. I mean, obviously they were being paid by somebody else, but
Yeah.
it having far-reaching implications with the Cartwright family and Jackson Lamb and just trying to get. There's so much history with these characters that
Yeah.
trying to draw it out. Man, I want to see more like Jackson Lamb history. Like I get Cartwright's like history with like paying this guy off and all this stuff to get his like
Yeah.
daughter back, but Jackson Lamb killing the former first task of MI5, Like I want more of that. I want more cloak and dagger shit like that. But
Well,
hey,
we
nothing wrong with this season. It was a good season. It's just the weakest of them all. But
yeah,
Hugo Weaving was
we
great as his character.
yeah,
He was the guy from the Matrix.
yeah, but yeah, Hugo Weaving from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great. And I mean, I think it just like I said, going back to Jackson Lamb, like, do we still even know like why he's at Slough House? I mean,
No.
how he got into the service, I mean, we see some more connections now. I mean, each season that you learn more, like he worked for David Cartwright, um, and what was and then he
Cadman.
killed Charles' partner, right?
Yeah.
You know, the former first desk or whatever he was that Standish worked for. I mean,
Yep.
we know bits and pieces of what he's done, and he's been like this insane MI5 agent. But yeah, we don't know what he did, to get moved to Slough House.
Yeah. They just put him out to pasture and then put him in charge of the rejects. Like,
Yeah,
did he fuck up? Like, yeah, like I would love to see a flashback to him as a younger guy because
yeah,
he kicked some ass this season. Like he ran over that
yeah.
dude in the cab and then he like that guy that was in
The
Slough
Terminator.
whipped his yeah, or the blonde guy from Die Hard who just won't die. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, he was kicking some ass this season. I'd like to see more of that. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, the guy who took over for First Desk, who like Taverner reports to, the guy's a wanker.
yeah, and he's big into the Prossies over
Yes.
there on the um yeah, it was a weird transition for him because he was very tentative and trying to, it's kind of like, he was going to clean up the secrets and the corruption inside. And then, of course, the first sign of like, oh shit, this is what we do. Then he's like, okay, we got to bury it in concrete box.
Let's cover it all up.
Uh, Poor Gilly. Gilly's going to get annihilated.
Yeah, she's gonna get popped. Yeah, she knows way
Yeah.
too much. Yeah. Which I thought that was gonna
But
happen when Taverner had her isolated. I was like, oh, this chick is gonna be found like, oh, she
yeah.
hung herself. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't
Yeah.
finish that off. But yeah, I think the only, besides the bad guys, we had Marcus die.
Yep.
So we kind of
Yep.
saw that, kind of the writing on the wall um, there. But
Yeah.
um,
I do like the guy that
you
wore
know,
the hoodie who like rarely talked.
yeah,
Like,
Coke.
yeah, I don't know what his deal was, but like I did like him because like he shot that guy at the end after telling what's her name not to, and he was like, bop bop. It was like, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
fucking do it. Yeah.
Well, because like you finally in the last episode reveal that you the reveal that he was like psyops or like was around psychology and stuff, and he was like he loves you. He's trying to project you know his shortcomings. Like I mean, he pegged everything, and then I think that's why he said don't do it because she knows that you know she'll continue to see that, and like he has no like emotion,
Yeah.
and so he's just like I'll fucking do it. Like
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm already a lost cause. Like, I'll do it. Like, and I think Lamb hinted to the fact that like the reason why he's at Slough House is it's like the first or second episode after like River goes on the lam. He like is telling everybody he's like, you don't blow another judge's cover. And then
yeah.
he, like looks directly at that dude and he's like yells it in his face. And I'm like, I bet that dude was being tortured and like ratted somebody out, and that's why he's at Slough House. I don't know, but it's hard to
uh
imagine that guy fucking up. Yeah.
you don't know you don't mow another guy's lawn from Kingpin.
Yeah, yeah. She said handsome, not handless.
Yeah.
We need to do a podcast episode about Kingpin. That movie just
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but
We can
yes.
Mystery Science Theater that one.
Yeah, definitely.
You and I watch it.
Yeah, so Slow Horses was good. Thank God there's two seasons a year. I think we'll get the next season in like January or February maybe. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. But yeah, good overall. I mean, Gary Oldman, I mean, just give him his Emmy. I mean, the guy crushes it
Yeah.
every season. So
Yeah, and last one is the Penguin,
woo!
which we're now episode 4 came out Sunday, October 13th.
Yep.
You and I are both through episodes 1 through 3.
Yep.
What is your take on it so far?
I did not expect to like this show as much as I do. Colin
Yeah.
Farrell, I lose him in makeup and the costuming and the act, his accent and everything is amazing. He's a Bronx guy living in Gotham. Like he's amazing. And the whole backstory of, that this is a Batman villain, and we're talking about a serious show on HBO, which is probably going to win some Emmys. Like this is amazing. Um,
If if it wasn't called the Penguin, I wouldn't even know it was
yeah,
like a Batman
no,
world. I mean, that besides you hear Arkham and Gotham and
yeah,
like
and the
some of these
Riddler
names,
like
but
once,
yeah,
yeah,
the
there's
Riddler is bombing Gotham and all that, I guess.
yeah,
But
yeah. Have
um,
you seen the movie The Batman with Twilight, Robert Pattinson? Yeah, so Marcus just watched it like a week ago. So that movie ends with the flooding that takes place in like episode
oh
2 or 3. So this
yeah,
show picks up like a week later from the
oh
movie.
shit,
And then
okay,
the second movie is going to take place like a week after this season ends.
no
So
kidding.
expect the Penguin to be in the next movie. But dude, Colin Farrell, what's her name? I'm gonna butcher it. Christy Milani, um, as uh as the Falcone sister, Sophia.
Sophia Falcone,
She has got the crazy eyes, but is so good in it.
yeah, yeah.
I love it, dude. I did not expect to like it as much as I do, but I look forward every Sunday to watching it. Um, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, the show is really good. Yeah, Kristen Milotti is amazing as Sophia Falcone. Colin Farrell is amazing as the Penguin. I mean, we were walking around the office today going like, you got a lot of a lot of gumption, kid. I'm gonna pay you 1,000 a week, gabagoo. So like, I just want to do everything in Colin Farrell's version of the Penguin. Um, and Mike was walking like the Penguin today at work too,
Yeah.
with his ankle problems. But
Blew my ankles out after
um,
3 mile walk. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I don't have a big history with graphic novels, comic books. You know, and I've really gotten into some of the shows recently that are based on like The Boys, obviously, and then I mean I watched the Michael Keaton Batman, but I got to watch the Batman with Robert Pattinson because um like this story is good, and if it's gonna go with another movie, that'll be nice. But
Yep.
um so yeah, it's good stuff, and
Yeah.
I
I
really look
like how
forward to
it doesn't take on the hyperbolic like characterization of the Penguin. Like Danny DeVito
yeah,
playing the Penguin, which is probably the all-time greatest Penguin in the Batman verse in Batman Returns
yeah,
with Keaton. Also directed by Tim Burton. But he doesn't have the top hat, he doesn't have the monocle. Yeah, this is like gritty, like underworld, like
yeah,
before he's the shit. Like people call him the Penguin as a joke, and then he embraces it
yeah,
later in his like career. It's so good. What's your
yeah.
take on his like little sidekick?
It's interesting. Like I liked him so far, and I like like with him having the stuttering when he's nervous, that kind of tick, maybe like Tourette's stuttering kind of tick.
Yep.
Um, I think it's I think in episode 3 we got a little more of his backstory. Not too much, but we met his family, and like it really was great in episode 3 because the Penguin was like, your dad would be proud, and and then later on in the episode, he's like, my dad would would be fucking pissed. It
Yeah.
would not agree with what we're doing, and but it's kind of I think they have a good back and forth. It was really crazy how he came in at the end of episode 3 and just rammed the Maserati into like the people about the rival gang.
Yeah,
He just
oh
he was
god,
so close to he was
Falcones
so
and the Maronis.
just when you think you're out, they pull you back in,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. He's
So
about to take off with his girl and live happily ever after in California, and then he's like, "Nope, I'm gonna just like run a guy over, and then this is my life now."
and now I'm a murderer.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's interesting because a lot of I don't know if he's going to stay on the the Penguin side. It's the bad side in the Batman world, but or if he becomes a good guy, because a lot of his character like background is based off of like Batman's sidekick, like his second Robin, who becomes the Red Hood. So he could become a good guy. I don't know which way it's going to go. I mean, he's got a good heart underneath a lot of this stuff, but it'll be interesting how they play it. I did not expect him to have like the sidekick whole story, but the kid playing Vic is doing a pretty good job. He's got the stutter. I like the
Yeah.
stutter.
I mean, you can also be a gangster with a heart of gold,
True that.
it's
Yeah.
like a hooker with a heart of gold.
Yeah. I don't think they've really shown it yet, but so in the movie, uh, Falcone is played by like the head of the family is John Turturro. And so they
Oh, nice.
recast him for the show because Turturro wasn't available for, I'm guessing, Severance.
The
And now
show
he's
that's
played
taken
by,
17 years for season 2.
dude, no joke. Oh my gosh. And so they recast him with Mark Strong, who looks almost exactly like him. So it's an interesting recast, but I love the Penguin.
Yeah.
I could talk about it for hours.
Yeah, we've got to watch episode 4
Yep.
and 5. Maybe we'll talk about both next week, but I'm really surprised. It's like The Sopranos, but in the Batman universe, and I think we needed something, like this right now on HBO.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, like the other show that both you and I watched the first episode with after the Penguin, called The Franchise, to see if that improves and if they, how the ratings are after the Penguin, because I think they have a good show, but we'll see how much people are watching.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I haven't
franchise.
seen the numbers for Penguin yet, but it's
Yeah, the
good.
franchise I guess comes on after the Penguin. If it does, that's probably a smart move by HBO. But we like Armando Iannucci. He did Veep. He did Avenue
Avenue 5.
5. He also did one of my favorite movies, The Death of Stalin, with Steve Buscemi, who plays Khrushchev. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, it's I watched the first episode. I don't know. I didn't find it all that funny. So I don't know. Like I don't know which way it's
When
going to go. Maybe
supposedly
those, but
Iannucci didn't write it, he's just like producing this one, where he did all the Veep and Avenue 5.
yeah,
But yeah, it seems like it's missing something so far. And it's only one episode, and it's you know if you historically look at some of these shows pilots, like even Succession's pilot was kind of trash. um but we'll see. I need to watch episode 2
yeah.
um that came out yesterday and see how
I
it goes
think
from there, because I think with his stuff, like I remember watching Avenue 5 and like watching the first season and going, that was pretty good. And then I rewatched it and I'm like, okay. And then I rewatched it like third time. I was like, oh shit, this is good.
yeah,
And kind of Veep, I think, I don't know, my experience with his shows is the more you rewatch them, the more you kind of get the smart
yeah,
funniness of it.
yeah,
And I think it's a tough, the franchise is kind of a tough topic because it's like meta
yeah.
Hollywood. So it's like the kind of ins and outs of a comedy about the ins and outs of making a movie and what can go wrong and changing producers and I mean, the first episode they changed the producer,
Yeah.
and like the guy funding from the studios like gets rid of him and
And
brings in.
the big wig that comes in that they're all trying to kiss his ass, right? He's from Ozark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who helps Wendy like get people elected, or he's like a senator or something like that, or
Oh yeah,
he
yeah,
helps him
yeah,
get the
yeah.
casino license. Yeah, he's from Ozark, but there
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't know if of course, it's an early judgment, but the casting is just so uneven. They're all great in their own respect. I'm not knocking these actors. It's just a weird mishmash of people that they're trying to put together. Daniel Bruhl, who I've never seen in a comedic role like this, and then you got Himesh Patel, I think that's his name, who's from Yesterday and
Yep.
from Avenue 5, who's hilarious,
And Station 11.
and Station 11, yeah. And then some of these other people, it's such a weird mix of
Yeah.
different style actors. So I don't know. We'll keep watching, but I don't have high hopes for it at the moment. But yeah,
Yeah.
that just came out like October 6th, so that's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
But
And
there's some other stuff.
Billy Magnusson, Billy
Yeah,
Magnuson's in there.
yeah, and he's funny in other things. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely room to grow, and hopefully it does.
yep,
Because I'm gonna try to keep watching it, but
yeah.
if you know
If it's not there, then
the next
yeah,
ones are not good, then
yeah,
we'll give up on it. But
yep. And then anything else? I mean, we got some shows coming up soon. Is there anything else you want to cover before?
no, I think we just kind of briefly touched on what we're watching and what look and then I think we got a couple things we're looking forward to with you know the next show coming out that we watch is this week with Shrinking season 2,
Yep.
um which was good. Interested to see how season 2 will go.
Yeah.
um
It's light.
and
It's a
then
light show to watch.
yeah,
There's no
yeah, we don't talk
consequences.
about it because
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking
um
forward to it. Harrison Ford in a comedic role, I'll take that any day. Very,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he was good in that. Um and then Somebody Somewhere, which season 3, which is one of my favorite shows on HBO, season 1 and 2. It's I would say it's a light watch if you haven't watched it, but it's not light from like emotional kind of standpoint,
yeah,
but it's funny. And it's a really quality show. um Season 3 comes out, I think, October 27th, and then uh Silo comes out in November.
yeah. The
Silo
trailer
season
for
2.
that just dropped. It looks really good.
And then of course Severance in January.
Yep. And Squid Games season 2 is in like
Hmm.
2 months. It's like just before Severance season 2, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice. So, and then actually, the one thing that I heard this week is Shogun is getting a second season.
Whoa.
At least like the Shogun universe.
Yeah,
So,
that's big.
which, yes, please.
Yeah,
So, um,
that will fill the Tokyo Vice void for sure.
I really wish they give another similar style show,
Yep.
but we'll see.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff coming up.
Yeah, we got some good shows coming up. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. We'll try to keep up, but yeah, appreciate people sticking around. I know it's been a while since we potted, but yeah. Anything else before we close it
Yeah.
out?
No, I think we're just gonna try to um, get back to it on a weekly basis
Yep.
and kind of expand what we're doing with with the podcast, and try to be more active
Yeah.
on the socials.
I
So
think
look
yeah,
for us there.
we talked about it earlier, but I think one thing that would be great is like throwing reviews up of some of these shows and movies that we're watching, right? Because I've been watching a lot of movies recently, so I'd love to be throwing up some, some stars and
Yeah.
some descriptions of some movies that I've been watching. So that'll be something people need to watch out for sure. Yeah,
Why Interstellar is the best movie ever made by
hands
Jack
down. I mean,
Sherman.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hope you got time to read a book because we could write it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, nothing else for me, man. It's good to be back doing what we love doing.
that's right, man. No, it's good to be back. Glad you're back in town. We'll definitely get back into a routine on this, and appreciate everybody for kicking it with us this week. Be sure to check out the all the podcast platforms. Check out the Instagram. Check out the website. And tune in next week, as cousin likes to say.
Mahalo.